All right, welcome back to Salt City Counseling. I'm going to talk in this video about the simplest, I mean truly the most simple thing that you can do as a parent to change your teenager's behavior, okay? And this method and this practice is actually so simple. So simple. I truly believe that most parents can implement this system and see benefits and see positive changes. Before I get into that, if you like my content, obviously subscribe. Help me get to my first 100 subscribers. What? Trying to get to 1,000, man. It's like 10th of the way there. So share this video if you like it. That's what really helps me. Help me get out there into the interwebosphere. Honestly, I believe my work saves the lives of kids, amongst other things. And so, if you would like to ask me a specific question, scottc at saltcitycounseling.com. The link is in the description below. Let's get into this. This is the most basic thing that parents can do to change or alter their teenagers' behavior. Okay, so let me start by running out a scenario. The scenario is this: your teenager comes home with their grades, and the grades basically go like this. Okay, out of 8 classes, there's an A, there's a B plus, there's an A minus, there's a C plus, there's an A, there's a B, there's a B minus, and a D minus. Okay, what does the kid hear about out of all those grades? They obviously hear about the D minus. They hear nothing about the A's. Nothing. Completely unnoticed. And not only do they hear about the D minus, but the parents are so upset about it that it just overshadows any good. And I hear this from parents all the time, and I've been harping on this a lot lately. It drives me. School's back in after a prolonged absence due to COVID. And mental health crisis inbound, already here. Kids' mental health is super important, more important than grades. I know, crazy concept. But the kids are realizing if I don't do anything, when I do good things, they go completely unnoticed. And when I've brought this to the attention of some parents, their response is, well, that's just what's expected. Okay, here's what I need you to consider. Is our current system of parenting getting us the outcomes that we want? In other words, is it working? Okay, if the answer is no, question number 2, are we blaming the child instead of taking accountability for ourselves and changing our approaches, methods, and tactics? Okay, so here is the easiest and simplest thing that you can do as a parent to shape and mold and change your child's behavior. And that is always focus on the positives, okay? Now here's the thing. If we put behaviors into 2 basic categories, good behaviors we like and behaviors that we dislike. I call it bad dog and good dog. The bad dog is the behaviors that you dislike, and the good dog is the behaviors that you like. Whichever behaviors you're paying attention to are the ones you're feeding. Okay, the good dog usually gets starved because it doesn't get any love, we starve the good behaviors by ignoring them, and so parents often reinforce negative behaviors, and then therefore they see more and more of them, and they're going crazy because they're like, in their minds, the more I discourage these behaviors, the more they should disappear. So what's the problem? The problem is you're reinforcing the negative behaviors. You're feeding them. Okay? Kids need you to be present. They need eye contact. They need that validation. They need that one-on-one time. They need you to speak directly to them. They need you there present with them. If they do good things and you disappear, but then they do bad things and then you're like, oh, guess what you're going to see more of? Because when you're there present with them, making eye contact and talking to them directly when they do bad things, there's a part of the brain their brain that says, this is the behavior that they want. Do more of this. Okay, so you may not realize that you are inadvertently reinforcing the behaviors that you don't want. You're feeding the bad dog, right? If the carpet pees on the carpet, or if the dog pees You know what I meant. If the dog pees on the carpet, you don't give it a treat. Okay? Right? If the dog does something good, if the dog rolls over, you give it a treat. We know this about dogs, honestly. Like, it's the same thing with your kids, but you do the opposite with your kids. They pee on the carpet, and you give them a treat in the form of being present, being with them, and giving them validation. And I know that, like, shame on you, I can't believe you did that, and what are you going to do to fix this isn't validating. It's better than being ignored. Kids would rather be yelled at than ignored. If they're being good and you disappear, don't ask, then don't come to me and be like, I don't understand why my kid is acting out so much. Well, so it's simple. Make a list of the behaviors that you like. Now, a lot of parents struggle with this. Why? Because they're only ever thinking about or addressing the behaviors that they dislike. So this is going to take some work on your part. You're going to have to work to be more conscientious of the behaviors that you do like. If they get in the car and put on a seatbelt without being asked, there you go. Hey, good job. Thanks. Appreciate you. If you are paying attention to and giving that eye contact and that validation to behaviors that you do like and being present with them, you're going to see more of it. If they're doing something that you dislike, I'm not saying don't address it, but you need to starve that behavior. You need to be like, okay, hey, don't look. When I worked with troubled kids, it's like if I needed to correct them, then I would avoid giving them eye contact. I would just be like, hey, you're not supposed to go. You're not supposed to do that. To go take a time out, and then I'm done with it. Hand out the consequence, move on. And don't talk about it too much. And if they do something good, hey, good job. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I tell you what, man, it does wonders for your relationship with them. This is the single easiest and most simple thing that you can do for your kids. But you wouldn't know it by looking around you because none of the other parents do this. It has become culturally normative to only harp on our kids about the negatives. Only point out the flaws, only point out the problems, and then we wonder why our kids are struggling. We wonder why our relationships with them are going sideways, and we wonder why we had no idea that they were suicidal and things like that. Okay, so that is one of the parenting pro tips of the week is focus on the positives. Okay, and go heavy on it, like gush. Man, I sure appreciate you. I love how considerate you are. If they're nice to their sibling, that's a biggie. Kids being nice to their siblings, that's awesome. You really want to reinforce that. All right, so thank you again for watching. I got to get to work. Soon. So, yep, getting messages from work. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share all the good stuff. We'll see you next time.